I just filmed this and I like name dropped somebody, and so I had to refilm the whole thing. Anyways, it was only 5 minutes, but okay. So I'm talking about self-love today, cultivating self-love for myself because just want to share my experience with how my experience was with this. For a little background, you guys have watched you guys might have watched some of my videos before. I definitely don't think that I really had a good love for myself. I don't know. So I googled the definition of self-love, and this website said that self-love is having a high regard for one's own well-being and happiness. I don't think I think I made a lot of people-pleasing sacrifices to. I think I made a lot of people-pleasing sacrifices so that I could be well liked by other people, because I couldn't find it within myself to be happy alone, because I needed someone to constantly validate that I was cool to hang out with, or that they thought I was cool or worthy of being loved or liked or whatever. And yeah, so in these past few months, I've definitely found that the more time I spend with myself, it was really hard at first. Spending alone time was really difficult for me forever. I was left alone a lot when I was really young, and I just didn't like that loneliness feeling. And I did a lot of people pleasing so that people wouldn't leave, because I didn't feel worthy of being loved, and I felt abandoned and blah 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 and all that bullshit. So I've been trying to fill this void that I'm sure almost everybody has a void. I definitely had a void. Have a void. I don't know. It's not bad. It's not as loud of a noise as it used to be. I haven't gotten laid since, I have this written down. I haven't gotten laid since December, which is fine. It's actually kind of really cool because I definitely used sex as a way to be validated by others and mimic love, you know? And I just haven't needed to. There are times where I'm like, God, I need to get laid right now. It's been so long, but for the most part, I don't want anyone that I don't truly like as a person inside of my body. I just don't, which is weird. I don't know. Not weird, but just different. I used to think, sex, whatever, it's no big deal. But really, it was a big deal because I was using it. I was using that person to make me feel loved and validated, even if they didn't love or think I was valuable. So that was dumb. I've been really enjoying, and I've been really feeling stimulated in a healthy way, hanging out by myself, and I'm doing a lot of self-discovering, and I'm figuring out that I'm the number one coolest person for me to hang out with is myself. I am my favorite person right now, and that's I would never have said that before. So along with not getting laid, I haven't been in a serious relationship. You guys met one of my exes in my first video or something, and that was just another mess, honestly. It was another escapist me distracting from myself, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to learn more about myself. I want to be comfortable alone, and I am comfortable being alone now. And that's amazing. It's let's leaps and bounds from where I used to be. And I guess since I told you guys about how I'm loving myself and all that shit. Some things I like to do. I like to read a lot. I haven't finished a book since I was a kid. I have not finished a full book since I was a kid for years, and I've been going through books like crazy. Yeah. So maybe I'll do a video on books. I don't know. I also like to write a lot. I like have this newfound love for poetry. I don't write poetry. I haven't written poetry in a while, but the stuff that I share with my friends can have like a poetic vibe to it. I am in a creative writing club with some of the girls that I am that I trust, and we meet up once a month and we share whatever prompt from last month that we decided on, and it's really stimulating. It's interesting. Like in the writing, and when I read it back to my like self, I feel like I'm finding out more about who I am and why I do the things I do, and I just find myself to be a very interesting person. Not gonna lie. So reading and writing, I love to read. I always, like for the past few months, I always have 2 or 3 books going at the same time. So I get sick of like the tone of one book, then I'll be like, all right, I want something like this. And I'll like switch it up, and I'll have a few books going at the same time, and I finished a few, and I always have this like warm feeling in my heart when I read the last line of the book. I'm like, oh my god, like I just feel some type of way. Yeah. I don't know. I just got off work. I was gonna be like, sorry my hair looks like shit, but I don't really care. Like, fuck it. I'm like being comfortable right now. I'm filming this video because I don't know. This is just the time to do it. Anyways, I like to go to coffee shops a lot. Where I live in St. Pete, we have like probably like 5 solid chains of coffee shops that are really cool, like small business coffee shops, and they're really cute, and I love just being there by myself. I very rarely get coffee with a friend or something. I'm usually by myself, and it's like time for me to just like people watch and unload, and I like bring my journal everywhere, and I like reflect, and it's like really nice. This video is getting really long. Okay, so I go on long walks by myself. I live right next to the pier, so I go to the pier all the freaking time, which is just like this building on the water, and there's a bunch of parks down here, so I like to go to parks and look at the water and the dolphins and just read and write and sit and look at the sky. And I've been doing, I guess I'll end somewhere around here. Museums are so much better by yourself. I've gone to museums with friends, and I used to like low-key not like it. I used to be like, this is boring, and like, you're just like looking at your friend, looking at shit, and like when they're done with like, and you're following each other around or talking, and like I don't think museums were meant to visit with people. I think museums were meant to visit alone, because the way that the art or whatever you're looking at like stimulates you is an experience that is unique from everybody else's. And I think when you're with people, you're always like, I don't know, you're just not as in it. Like, you're worried about, like, I'm worried about, like, do you want to go over here? Do you want to look at this? What are you going to do next? Like, are you done looking at this? Should we go in that room? Like, I have all these questions in my head or out loud with a person, my friend, or whoever I'm with at a museum, and it makes it, like, boring, and, like, my brain doesn't get into it. When I go to museums by myself, I get lost in the art. I'm by myself. It's quiet. It's peaceful. It's an amazing experience. Go to a museum by yourself. Yeah. And then I'll end with like what I found on the internet, and it says self-love means taking care of my own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. So like, fuck others. I want to share one more thing before I like close, and I have the Pattern app, which is like this hoopy doopy astrology app, and it like takes your birth chart and like sends you like things about yourself, and like it aligns with like the timing of what's going on in the stars right now and shit. But this is something that it shared with me today. It says, because you value your freedom, you avoid situations that feel confining and have an aversion to anyone trying to control you. Oh my god. For some, you're an exciting person to be around, but others you might be but others may be unnerved around your edgy temperament, finding you too unpredictable